All right, so when it comes to calling leads, there's two things that I like to keep in mind, and then there's three pieces to the puzzle, or kind of three pieces of a framework I like to look for. So first and foremost is kind of checking the environment or creating the environment. What I mean by that is I want to make sure I've got obviously ops pulled up so I know who I'm calling, but then I also need mind body, and then I need my script, whether it's printed out or on computer. I've used both, doesn't matter, but those are, I need to create the environment to set myself up for success. The other thing I need to keep in mind is that like the biggest thing that matters in my opinion is energy. So it shows belief, it shows passion, and it makes us more likable because nobody wants to be around an Eeyore. It's like, I'm just, I'm calling from Alloy Personal Training. Yeah, no, it's like, no, people want, like, you gotta be fired up. You gotta have energy. Yeah, again, it shows the passion and the belief that what we're all about. It's like, I'm freaking calling you because I want to help you. I want to change your life. Again, that's what it's all about. So the three parts to the call. So first is the opening. So the things to keep in mind. So with the opening, remember that like people decide in the first 10 seconds whether they like you or they don't. So you got to be quick. You got to be straight to the point. And you got to make it sound like you're having the best day of your life. So if you can't tell, I'm recording this. It's almost 9 a.m. 9 a.m. I start making calls. I'm freaking fired up. I'm hyper caffeinated and I'm ready to go. So again, think about like people buy from people who remind them of their friends. So we want to act, when I'm calling someone, I want to act like, man, we're best friends. We go way back. So, I would call someone up and be like, hey, what's going on, Sally? This is John, owner of Alloy Personal Training. How you doing today? Like that's my first line right out of the gates. Like I'm fired up. And then, she's like, oh, I'm good. A lot of times they'll be confused. I'm like, okay, great. I'm good or whatever they'll say, something pretty simple generally. And I'm like, oh, great. So you reached out wanting more information about working with a trainer. I just wanted to see what I could do to help. Again, I'm just like, I'm asking a very generic, broad question because I just want to get that conversation started. So again, that's my opener. It's super simple. I'm bringing the energy. I'm acting like we've known each other forever. And I'm just like, how can I help? That's what I'm here. I'm here to help you. So that's step one. Step two is the rapport building. So that's where to keep the conversation going, you've got to earn like 30 seconds at a time. So the biggest mistake people make is they get caught up in the weeds talking about how we do small group training 6-to-1 and we got kettlebells and TRXs and you don't want to do any of that. So when a question comes up, you want to answer the question briefly in like one sentence, maybe 2 sentences max, and then boom, you hit them with your next question. So, someone's like, oh yeah, I just wanted to, I just wanted to know the cost. And oh yeah, that's a great question. Definitely understand it. So our sessions run from $35 to $45 per session. It really just depends on how often you want to come work with the trainer. So tell me, like, have you worked with a trainer before in the past? And then they tell you that. Awesome. Well, what caught your eye about this? Like, what are your goals? What are you looking to do? What injuries do you have? Oh my gosh, you had knee surgery last year. What happened? How'd you hurt your knee? I'm just going to pepper them with questions to keep them talking just so I can get to know them as best I can and hopefully start to build the foundations of a strong relationship. That's really that's the meat and potatoes of the call. And then the close at the end of the call, I'm going to say something super simple, and it would just be like, listen, Sally, you sound like you'd be a great fit for what we do here. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to set up a time for you to come in so we can talk a little bit more detail about you, your goals, your needs, and see if it makes sense for us to move forward. How does your schedule look in the next day or two? And then Sally's going to be like, okay, yeah, I guess. How about, Thursday, what's Thursday? Thursday, okay, great. What works best, morning, afternoon, or evening? I don't want to leave it wide open, so that's why I'm trying to narrow it down just a little bit. What works best, morning, afternoon, or evening? Sally says, probably in the morning. Okay, well, how about 7 or 9 a.m.? Sally's like, 9 a.m. Perfect. So when you come in, you'll be meeting with Wes. He's our fitness director here, and you're going to love him. As part of the appointment, we'll go through a really simple movement assessment and take you through a simple workout so that you can get an idea what it would be like to work together. Sound good? They're going to say, yep, sounds good. Okay, great. Listen, Sally, I really enjoyed speaking with you today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you on Thursday at 9 a.m. Got it? And then they're going to say, okay, great. Boom, hang up, done. We move on. That's it. Sales in a nutshell. Again, it's all about energy. It's all about belief. And it's all about building rapport so that we can get to know people.